things wherever she asks.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the loveliest lady in the land?
You are, Your Majesty.
One day when she asks it again,
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the loveliest lady on the land?
Snow White is the loveliest in the land.
the stepmother was furious and wild with jealousy, began plotting to get rid of her rival. Calling one of her trusty servants, she plied him with a rich reward.
I want you to face that Snow White and take her into the deepest part of the forest and kill her with you, and bring me her heart in this box. Snow White will soon be killed. Then I will be the most beautiful woman in the land again.
The servants, attracted to the reward, agreed to do this deed, and he led the innocent little girl away. However, the man's courage failed him, and leaving Snow White sitting beside a tree, he ran off. Snow White was alone in the forest. Night came, but the servant did not return. Snow White, alone in the dark forest, began to cry bitterly. She thought she could feel terrible eyes spying on her, and she heard strange sounds and rustlings that made her heart thump. At last, overcome by tiredness, she fell asleep cold under a tree. Dawn woke the forest to the song of the birds, and Snow White too awoke. However, the thick trees were like a wall round her, and as she tried to find out where she was, she came upon a pot. There stood a strange cottage with a tiny windows and a tiny chimney pot. Everything about the cottage was much tinier than it ought to be. Snow White pushed the door open.
I wonder who lived here. That tiny place, I suppose. There must be 7 of them. The tables left for 7 people. I made them something to eat. When they come home, they will be glad to find a meal ready.
Towards Dutch, 7 tiny men marched homeward singing. But when they opened the door, to their surprise, they found a bowl of a hot steaming soup on the table, and the whole spick and span upstairs was Snow White, fast asleep on one of the beds. The sheet door prodded her gently.
Oh, look at this mess. There are thieves in our house. Wake up, you horrible thief.
I'm not a thief. I'm a princess.
What are you doing in our house then? Go away, go to your own house. Be quiet, Grampy. Who are you?
My name is Snow White. Who are you?
We are the dwarf of deep dark wood. How did you get here? Were you lost in the forest?
You're a funny little man. Yes, I was lost.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Dog. I'm the brandy one. Glad to meet you, Snow White.
Snow White told them her sad story, and tears sprang to the dwarf's eyes.
Stay here
gratefully accept their hospitality, and next morning the dwarf sets off for work.
Don't open the door to any stranger.
Meanwhile, the servant has returned to the castle with the hearts of reindeer. He gave it to the crow's stepmother, telling her it belonged to Snow White, so that he could grant to the reward. Highly pleased, the stepmother turned again to the magic mirror.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the loveliest lady in the land?
The loveliest in the land is still Snow White, who lives in the seventh dwarf cottage down in the forest.
She must die! She must die!
Disguising herself as an old peasant woman, she put a poisoned apple with the otter in her basket. Then, taking the quickest way into the forest, she crosses the swamp. At the edge of the trees, she saw Snow White stood waving goodbye to the seventh dwarf. Snow White was in the kitchen when she heard the sound at the door. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I am an old peasant woman selling apple.
I don't need any apples. Thank you.
But there are beautiful apples and ever so juicy.
I'm not supposed to open the door to anyone.
And quite like too. Good girl, if you promise not to open up to stranger, then of course you can buy. You are a good girl indeed, and as a reward for being good, I am going to make you a gift of one of my apples.
Without a further thought, Snow White opened the door just a tiny crack to take the apple.
There! Now that's a nice apple. Oh no! What's happening to me?
The effect of the terrible poison left her lifeless quickly. The wicked stepmother hurried off, but as she ran back across the swamp, she tripped and fell into the quicksand.
Oh no, help me! Someone please help me!
But no one heard her cry for help, and she disappeared without a trace. Meanwhile, the seven dwarfs worried about Snow White, ran as quickly as they could down the mountain to the cottage. Then they found Snow White lying still and lifeless, the poisoned apple by her side. They did their best to bring her around, but it was no use. They wept and wept for a long time. Then they discovered a prince admiring Snow White's lovely face. After listening to the story, he made a suggestion.
She's so lovely. I would love to kiss her.
He did. And as though by magic, the prince kissed broke the spell. To everyone's astonishment, Snow White opened her eyes. She has amazingly come back to life. Now in love, the prince asked Snow White to marry him, and the dwarf reluctantly had to say goodbye to Snow White. From that day on, Snow White lived happily in the great castle. But one time, she was drawn to visit the cottage down in the forest. Happy ending.